morning, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Liv Every Day. I am your host, Liv Harrison, and I am so excited you're here on Backchannel. This show is 2 hours today. So if you are on the East Coast, it is 8 a.m. We'll be here from 8 to 10 a.m. East Coast time. Here in the great state of Texas, it's 7 a.m. and we're going to have lots of thunderstorms during this show. So everyone pray for technology. It'll be fine. We're getting a big weather system down here. So I want to know what's going on where you are. I know this weather system is kind of big for everybody. So good morning to Stacy and London, Apathetic Frog, and Karamas. And of course, we've got producer Anna. It's supposed to be 75. So is that warm for you, Anna? Anna's in Ohio, and we're supposed to dip down to 49 today, but I don't think that's going to happen. We were in the 80s yesterday in Texas. We're not gonna get that low. Come on, there's no way. There's no way possible that's going to happen. You guys, you are tuned into Backchannel. What does that mean? That means you are here. Well, you can be for 12 hours. We have programming from 6 a.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. We've got lots of shows, lots of content. If you don't like one host, stick around. There'll be a new one, and you can talk to them. That's what makes this channel so unique. It's the only place that you can watch, listen, chat, build community, and you just always have something in the background. Why have C-SPAN? Have us. We want to be your background. That's not true. We want you to interact with us. That's what we really want. So how does that work? I'm glad you asked. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, you can just chat right there. If you are on a Alexa device, I mean, I got to figure out new names for her. You could be on the app. You could be on, your normal device. You could be on an Echo Dot. Anything that you're listening to, you can go to backchannel.tv and you can join the chat there. You can actually type and I will be able to read it. It's fantastic. I finally know why I was in third grade. This is awesome. If you have an Echo Show, you can speak to your device really easily. You just say Echo, and then your magic word is say good morning, Liv. And I'm going to say good morning to Fretful Rooster. Hi, Fretful Rooster. I am so glad you're here. I am loving these names. I got to have somebody explain it to me. Do you choose the name? Does it just choose a name for you? Can you write your real name? These are things I don't know. Anna says that the weather in Ohio is very back and forth. It snowed on Sunday, and today it's going to be 75. So in the South, we get really big, severe weather systems. Like you guys probably have heard about it. I would think everybody's kind of annoyed with it at this point because they're like, we got it. You guys have tornadoes every day of your life. But today's actually going to be a really big day for those. Unknown user, hello, good morning. It says that you say yes. I'm so glad that you're here. So everybody's bracing for that. Texas is going to be okay, but here's sometimes what happens. Things will build in Texas because it's so ginormous, and then we send it on down the road. So today, everybody think of Alabama and Mississippi, parts of Louisiana. They're going to get some pretty wicked weather today. So what is going on where you are? Hello, available pig. I love that. That's hilarious. I want to know what kind of weather you're having. So Anna, let me ask you this. Are you guys getting any of this big storm system today? Or is it just, you're just getting like the warmness? Are we just shooting warm up to you guys? Like, I kind of feel like that's kind of what's happening. She says, I don't know. It looks dreary, but it's kind of warm. Yesterday was kind of dreary. It's still too early outside in Texas to know what it actually is. Can you believe that? 7:05. And the sun still isn't up, but that's fine. It'll get here eventually. We did have some horrible rainstorms, but they weren't really bad. The other day was really, really bad. Here's what's exciting about today. So many things. Oh, and I got to share this. Yesterday, what does Anna say? Rain showers tomorrow, frozen mix Friday. That's what it says for Ohio? Frozen mix? I don't even know what that means. Like, does that mean like snow ice situation? Well, also, why say that it's mixed? Like, how is snow and ice not the same thing? Isn't snow just fluffy ice? Is that a thing at all? I don't know. So yesterday was national, mom and pop like day. It was something, whatever. It was something pretty interesting. And my daughter had a softball game, which is really kind of sad. It's really kind of sad. If they had won, hi, Elise. Good morning, friend. Say hello to all your beautiful students for me. I want you to say hello. Hi. Good morning, Sheila. Hi. Freezing rain, snow. Grass puddle. My question is, but like freezing rain, snow. I mean, isn't snow freezing rain? I just don't understand the difference, except that it's fluffy and pretty. Do you know what I mean? Thanks, Elise. Thank you, friend. Yeah. So my daughter's playing softball last night, and if they had won their game, they would have gone into the playoffs. Rebecca, good morning. Mix is essentially slush falling from the sky, as in like a Slurpee. Sheila's having sunshine and warmth. I got to ask Sheila, I'm glad you're here. Do you love being in Florida compared to what the North is going through right now? Like, is now the moment that you're like, this was worth the move? You know what I mean? Yeah, Rebecca, I wish. What kind of Slurpee would you have? I'm not a Slurpee gal. It's not my thing. So last night I ended up at a restaurant that was a mom and pop restaurant, and I like figured it out halfway through, and I said to them, "Hey, happy mom and pop day." And grass puddle, yes, Slurpee weather. You know what's funny? When I lived in Louisiana, I was always allowed to have an icy. This one contributed to my weight problem, by the way. After piano practice, I would go get an icy, but I never had a slushy. I don't even know if I've even had one. Sheila says, yes, weather for sure. Yeah. So happy Florida Day. You guys never get any of the bad stuff we send. Texas is getting all stormy today. And like I said, we're sending it down the road, but Florida will be fine. Mom and pops are the best. Well, here's what's interesting. This restaurant looks like a really it's like fancy. It looks like a restaurant that is it not a chain? It doesn't look chainy like that, but it doesn't look like it's as mom and pop as we found out last night. So good morning, Nathan. Hi, getting ready for school. Well, actually, my daughter had to go into school early for student council. So she is like my dream. She does all the things. She plays softball, goes to student council. I didn't do any of it. So what's your mug? I got to know what's going on. Because today is coffee. That's new and different. And my very scary handle. Doug isn't here. He usually pours coffee with me. I'd love to know what he's drinking today. I'm going to guess it's like lemonade or something like that. All right. So anyway, my point is that about the mom and pop thing. Every day I read to you guys what's going on. And every day it doesn't matter. Like I'm like smoke and mirrors day. I don't care. But yesterday it mattered. And so I'm excited to tell you today is National Doctors Day, which I feel like, no, that's not true. I shouldn't say every day is National Doctors Day, but make sure to thank your doctor for sure. They've been busy the last 2 weeks. I actually see my doctor tomorrow, so I'll have to bring her like a lollipop. It's also National Take a Walk in the Park Day, but it sounds like a lot of the South can't do that. It's going to be too stormy today. In Texas, I don't know. It's supposed to be raining crazy, but it's doing okay. National I Am in Control Day. How's that going for you? Grass puddle, how's that going for you? Rebecca and Sheila and Elise. It's not going that well for me in the national, you're in control day. I got to be honest. And what else? National Pencil Day. Today's a lot. National Virtue Vacation Day. Anna, what does that mean? And National Little Red Wagon Day. Okay, that deserves some coffee. Cheers, everybody. Virtual Vacation Day? Oh, virtual. Oh, it says virtue. Okay, got it. Want to watch a video of where you want to go? Yes. Where would you go? If you could take a vacation today, today's the day. All of a sudden, you have packed bags, tons of money, your own jet. I was like trying to think, would I take a helicopter? I was literally going through like all the transportation in my mind, which here's what's interesting. We're going to read an article later today about people that live on a cruise ship. Would you do that? I feel like I know we've talked about cruise ships. I know we have, but would you actually live on one? I couldn't do it. And I love cruises, but I couldn't do that. Grass Petal says, it's Sam, not even awake yet. Sam, are you Grass Petal's friend that drives with him? Is that what that means? Is that what that means? That would be fantastic. You guys, so if I were to go on any trip in the world right now, to be honest, I kind of want to go to Tahiti right now. I want to go to like Bora Bora, Fiji. Mount Fuji, Fiji's the island. Yeah, I kind of want to go somewhere warm. That's what Anna's saying. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like, I don't know. And we don't, Sam Grass Petal. Wow. It feels extra early today. And you guys, Grass Petal and stuff, y'all are on Pacific time. What time is that? Hold on a second. If it's 7, is it 4 o'clock there? No. 5 o'clock? I can't do it. I can't do it at all. It is the hardest thing I do is time zones. If someone could figure that out, surely someone's made an app and you can just look at the app and say a word. Nathan says, technically both mountains, Fiji is just more underwater. Okay. Thank you. I was just saying, I said the word wrong. It's Fuji. Maybe West Coast, Northern California or Oregon or Washington. Not that those are warm right now. I was just in California. Grass Petal is there. It's just a comedy routine. No, it's not funny. So I just didn't say any of the words right. That's called every day. Every day on the show, I say the wrong words. It's fascinating. It really is. I'm really waiting for my university to call and say, we would like our paper back. Like, we would like your diploma back. I would put it in the mail. Anyway, so here's the deal. We're going to play a game, which I love this game because I think it's really funny. Anna does this, and she does it all on her own, and she does such a fantastic job. Today is Bad Synopsis, which is where you guess the TV show based on the bad synopsis, which I gotta say, Anna, I don't know if people use the word synopsis enough. You know what I mean? Like, every time I read it on here, I'm like, that's a nice, like, we should read that more. Eager Moose, hello, good morning. I need to go on to Backchannel. I might have to do this at some point and make a name. Although now it's funny, and I want to know if this was because of Grass Petal. He has such a weird name that 5 a.m. Not Sam. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm reading from far away. It says it's 5 a.m. That's hilarious that it says you wrote it's Sam, not even 5 a.m. And you actually wrote, you wrote it's 5 a.m., not even awake yet. I read it's Sam, not even awake yet. And then I asked you what time it was. It's because I'm trying to read from the monitor, so I'm not looking down here so much. And I couldn't read that. That 5 looks like an S. I'm moving on. Anyway, Grass Petal, I think you were the reason that they did this on Backchannel. That's what I wanted to tell you, by the way. I really do, because now we have Eager Moose and we have like Available Pig, Fretful Rooster. I think you're the one that inspired this to the big IT guys. They were like, Grass Petal's name is cool. Let's come up with a system. So that's what I think. Oh, good. Anna loves the word synopsis. All right, here we go. So I'm going to read this and we're going to try to guess whoever is here wanting to play. You guys go to backchannel.tv. You can type in your answers at backchannel.tv, or just wherever you are, you can type away. So here we go. Anna says, oh, you're keeping score? Okay, well, I might be the only winner. Grass Petal isn't talking to me anymore because I can't read 5. I really thought it said Sam. It really looks like Sam. I see it now. Yeah. All right, here we go. Some of these are going to be kind of obvious according to Anna. First one, the story of how the smartest person in English literature is not even the smartest person in his own family. Here's what's really sad. The second I read like in English literature, I could read this. I love that. This is nice and big, by the way. The first thing that I thought of was Harry Potter. Like that's how powerful J.K. Rowling is. That now, anytime I think of anything British or in the English language, the word literature. I don't usually say it like that, but yeah. I have no idea. The story of how the smartest person in English literature is not even the smartest person in his own family. Who's the smartest person in English literature? Shakespeare? The only movie I know about Shakespeare is Shakespeare in Love. That's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything else out of that. Like, I really don't. Who? Oh, it's not movies today. Oh, okay. Bad synopsis. Oh, it says TV show. Golly. All right, listen. Here's the deal. We had these storms roll through, and I woke up at least 3 times last night. Hello, Steve. Good morning. Well, it's going to be on the BBC, Anna said. The story, the smartest person. Oh, it's got to be like, oh, for the love, the detective guy. What is his name? Guys, what is his name? Watson. Okay, Anna, today's going to be it's going to be a hard day, everybody. Everybody just needs to listen, everyone's allowed to have a nice adult coffee. Anna needs to take over. I know. Sherlock. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm going to guess Sherlock Holmes. That is my guess. But I don't know. I never watched it. I've never seen the show. I never watched. The only other thing I know on the BBC is The Office. So unless that's the answer, I know 2 hours today. It's going to be fantastic, you guys. I'm going to put a little Irish something in here. Nathan says Tolkien or Chesterton. Nathan, the answers are in TV. BBC has the best shows. You're missing out. They have Downton Abbey. That's it. Or is that PBS? Is this Doctor Who? I don't know. I literally, are there any guesses? Sherlock Holmes from Rebecca. Well, she was trying to help me out. Sheila says Sherlock Holmes. That is PBS, isn't it? Aren't they the same? Except you have an accent in one of them, the BBC. It's the same kind of programming. I don't know. I'm going to go with Sherlock. Okay, good. Fantastic. I was about to really not believe in myself. Good gracious. You misread one thing and then you lose all confidence for the rest of the day. I love it. All right, Sherlock Holmes. All right, this is also TV. You guys, a group of TV writers get together every 2 years and mess with people's minds. The only thing I thought of was 30 Rock, but they don't mess with people's minds. A group of TV writers get together every 2 years and mess with people's minds. This is a Netflix original? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. TV writers. A Netflix original. The only thing I know on Netflix are all the fantastic documentaries on how everyone on the planet is a con artist. Okay, can't watch more than one in a sitting. Too creepy. Anna, I have no idea. And nobody's helping me, Bluey. I love Bluey, Steve. I love Bluey. My favorite episode is when, wait, what is Anna saying? Anthology series, the episodes are not connected. Yeah, I literally don't know, but they might know. Grasspetal says mind something. Squib is what Sheila says. Or squid. Black Mirror is what Grasspetal says. Nathan says, I have a fun movie plot line when your kid tells you she needs to be at school at 7. Oh, that's my kid. That's C. She just wrote, I have a fun movie plot line when your kid tells you you need to be at school at 7 and then says maybe it was 7:30. That's hilarious. I don't know. Black Mirror, Squib. Am I reading that? Is it Squid? Bluey. These are our guesses. Black Mirror. Grasspetal, did you watch that? Anna, did you watch that? I've never seen it. I got to tell you, I don't even know what it's about. I really don't. I have no clue what that show's about. I kept thinking it was something about like a really bad. Remember how they did that the Grimm's brothers for a while, and you had Snow White and you had all the people, and it was kind of creepy. Mm. All right, Anna, we're ready. I don't know that. I obviously don't know television. That's fair. I'm not very good. Okay, basically, friends with all the guys being different versions of Ross. Is it Friends? I don't. Is that because that's funny? Anna just described the show. I know, right? Is that what this is? This show is off the air, set in California. I am so confused. I am really not good at this. Elated Cat, hi, good morning. And 9, good morning, you guys. We are trying to desperately get these TV shows. Anna wrote up these bad synopsis, and we have to guess the TV show. And apparently, I just don't watch enough television. Actually, I don't. I don't know what I do with my life. Basically, friends with all the guys being different versions of Ross. Wait a second. Is this New Girl? I never saw that show. I never saw it, but everybody's told me to watch New Girl. Everyone has told me to watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Grass Puddle says Fraggle Rock. All right, I got to ask you, Grass Puddle. I got to be honest. I was never into Fraggle Rock. Like, it was just not my jam. I never got it. Harmonious Gopher, good morning. You guys, 9, Elated Cat, Harmonious Gopher. Here's what's great. You're on your Echo shows. You can just talk to your machine. You can say, Echo, say, look, 9 did it. New Girls. Is that New Girls? Or New Girl? Sorry, New Girl. Let's see. Okay, Sheila was saying, I was thinking New Girl. Steve says My Little Pony, which is the obvious reason or answer. And my guess is New Girl. This person is saying that all the guys suck, basically because Ross is the worst. Ross is the worst. Bouncy Crocodile, good morning. No, it's true. Like, I watch Friends every night. He is literally the worst. All right, let's see. Is it New Girl? What? Big Bang Theory? I got to disagree with that. I 100% have got to disagree with that. 9 says the answer is My Little Pony. I'm going to go with My Little Pony. Big Bang Theory has zero to do with people being different versions of Ross. That is crazy. That's funny. Because here's why I'm going to, I almost said, oh, for the love, How I Met Your Mother, because people have always been in like this big divide on what is a better show. Sheila says that's a disagree. Just because they're so nerdy. Okay, Ross is nerdy, but he's not science. Okay, every time I go to say something, I feel like I'm getting it wrong. They're all nerds working in university who are awful to women. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. Okay, here's another one. Nerd gets super speed, claims he's the fastest man alive, finds out every season that he's wrong. Paleontologist, scientist, Quiet Mosquito, welcome. Good morning, Flora. Hi, so glad you guys are here. Hello. Come talk to us. We're trying to guess this game, and man, I am really doing bad. Okay, badly. Nerd gets super speed, claims he's the fastest man alive, finds out every season he's wrong. I'm going to say Great American Hero. No idea. Anna. Okay, Steve's saying Flash. Sheila's saying The Flash. Rebecca's saying Flash. Okay, Anna said, so these were the ones I found, and it was more that people wrote mean synopsis rather than bad synopsis. These are kind of mean. That's really funny. Okay, Grass Puddle says The Flash. Are you guys watching The Flash? Is that on? I'm going to get kicked off. Everyone's going to absolutely be like, you're the worst. I don't know. I'm going to say The Flash because everybody's saying it. Oh, Anna says, I'm so over The Flash. She says she's over it. So she's just, it started out good, but it's gotten to be the worst. Oh, The Flash. Is that really and truly what they do on that show? Are you kidding me? He just finds out every season that he's not that fast? Stop. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. You guys, this is why I'm not watching TV right now. First of all, Love is Blind is over. What else is there to do with your life? 9 hours of a super stressed Winona Ryder. That one I can guess for sure. Hi, Courtney. Good morning. First time watcher out in Texas. Where in Texas are you, Courtney? I'm in Houston. And how's your weather? It's supposed to be really bad today, but so far it's not so bad. 9 hours of super stress, Winona Ryder. Come on, guys. Y'all know the answer to this. Everybody knows the answer to this. I haven't even watched this show. It's set in the 80s, right? Wait, has everybody watched this show? I feel like this was a really big thing. You've only watched season 1, you think, Anna? I didn't even watch that. Should I at this point? The Masked Singer. Steve. Days of Our Lives. Rebecca says Stranger Things. That's my guess. Good morning, Mindy. We almost drowned because you weren't here. It's a miracle that Grass Puddle's here, but he's probably leaving. He's going to make sure you're here every morning. I think it's Stranger Things. Mindy, you can't ever leave us, by the way. I'm going to send you my check. Yeah, I never saw Stranger Things, but that's my guess. And the only reason I know is because of the award. Anna, do you have that photo of Winona Ryder on the stage? Was it the Emmys? What was it? Where she's freaking out the whole time and her face is getting all weird? Is it a video? What is that? That is one of the funniest things. You don't know what I'm talking about? Anna doesn't know what I'm talking about? They won an award. They won like a Golden Globe or an Emmy. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? And the whole cast goes on stage, and the entire time, Winona Ryder, her face, she forgets she's in public, like Will Smith. And she like just has these reactions like this the whole time on stage, and it is hilarious. It's so funny. Okay, Steve goes, did she get slapped on the stage? Yeah, too soon for an award show. Stranger Things is the answer. Listen, between Kanye and Will Smith, I tell you what, it's interesting. Poor award shows. You found some photos of Winona Ryder acting weird on stage? Okay, one more. Which show was it? Was it which award show was it? Steve says, no one ever knows what you're talking about unless it's pizzas. It's kind of true. Hi, Christina. Good morning. Out in Massachusetts. Hi. It was the SAG Awards? Okay. I was talking about Winona Ryder. You're going to see these photos of her, and she looks hysterical. And it was her reaction when she was on stage at the SAG Awards. Every time somebody was talking, her face just completely like zonked weird out. It was so bizarre, but she's bizarre. All right. How the heck do they ever get any work done? This has got to be The Office. That has got to be the synopsis for The Office. That we're playing. What TV show is this? How the heck do they ever get any work done? No, it's not The Office. This takes place in New York. All right, guys, what TV show is this describing? How the heck do they ever get any work done? Rebecca guessed The Office. Sheila guessed The Office. Mindy said yes. Courtney says Parks and Rec. That's fair. Does that take place in New York? Wait, who lives in New York and doesn't get any work done? What about 30 Rock? Yes, Sheila, I just thought of the same thing. I was like, wait, what about 30 Rock? Parks and Rec is a good guess, but that's in Indiana. It's got to be 30 Rock. Who else is in New York and doesn't work? Or Friends, they don't get any work done. This one has New York in the title, more so than 30 Rock. I almost said Sex in the City. Like, it's a city in the title? Family Guy, Simpsons, Friends. I don't watch. Okay, Courtney was going to say Sex in the City. I don't know. And do they work? I don't think it's one of your absolute favorites, Anna. Kingsley Skunk. Good morning. Please help us out. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. NYPD. Courtney says NYPD. Oh, Sheila's got to be right. It's got to be Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That has got to be it. 100%. Yes. That's really funny. I know you do. Anna just wrote in all caps, I love Andy Samberg. She does. Yeah, Courtney goes, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Yes, absolutely. For sure. Also, how does anybody in New York getting it? 30 Rock, they never work. Friends, they don't work. Sex and the City, they don't work. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This is why people move to New York. Okay, here's the faces. All of you who have screens. Did you hear that? I didn't say y'all. All y'all with a screen. Here are the pictures of Winona Ryder at the SAG Awards, and it's fantastic. Can you zoom in on like the middle one? It's really fun to watch the video. This is her on a stage, and somebody is talking on the stage. Do you see this? And this is how she reacts the entire time. You've got to watch the video. If you just need to laugh in your life, it was so bizarre. It was so absolutely bizarre. I can't. I think this should be everybody's like, what is that called? Like your wallpaper on the back of your look at her. Look at this. It was like she was just absolutely, it's kind of sad. Who's the guy with Hannah goes, who's the guy behind her with his hands all over her? It's either her handler, it's got to be her agent. I don't know. It was, you got to watch the video. There you go, everybody. That's Winona Ryder at the SAG Awards. Now people are going to watch award shows just for this. But when you think about it, I know that we're going to not talk about Chris Rock and Will Smith today, or are we? Hi, Tina. Good morning. First time watcher out in New York. We were just talking about New York. I'm glad that you're here. The thing is that award shows have been entertaining from the get-go, and people say they don't watch them, and I get that. But everybody does, because everybody talks about it the next day. Even if you didn't watch it in real time, you watch the playback. But it's the same with, the Super Bowl, any type of, I don't know, like concert show, you got the whatever. Every time something happens, we had Miley Cyrus with that whole fiasco that happened at the MTV Awards with Madonna and Britney. Like, there's always something crazy going on at an award show. You had Kanye when he interrupted T-Swift, and now you've got Will Smith. Now, the thing about Will Smith, what makes this so different is you literally watched assault publicly on like camera. Like, it happened in public and it was recorded. You know what I mean? It wasn't like somebody had their iPhone out. It happened. So that makes it pretty interesting for sure. Have you watched the We Don't Talk About Bruno performance dumpster fire? I haven't watched it yet. No, Anna and I always like kind of do this download after award shows about, or not just award shows, but like any big TV thing that they do. I mean, even like the ball drop for, New Year's, there's always like something crazy. Y'all remember when Mariah Carey was performing? Like, there's always something going on, which, here's the question. Is it more about you're watching people live do something live, and so it just goes wrong because humans are humans? Or is it something with culture in Hollywood? Like, do you have people who have a tremendous amount of money, tremendous amount of power, tremendous amount of, all these kinds of big things that the rest of us get to just walk around grocery stores all day and no one knows who we are, fame, all that kind of stuff. They're dealing with a lot of things. Does that make them act in a different way than normal human beings that don't have those issues? Or is it just because if you were filming somebody like the Truman Show, you would see all sorts of stuff all day? I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing to think about. Why do you see celebrities act certain ways when they're being recorded? Because here's why it's an interesting question, I think. They know that what they're doing is live on television. Like, everybody knew the Academy Awards was being filmed. You know what I mean? Everybody knows, oh, I'm at the Super Bowl. I'm Janet Jackson. I'm on a stage. You know what I mean? Like, this is going into people's televisions. They know that. It's not like some guy on the subway who doesn't know your 12-year-old is filming him with his iPhone and he decides to be mean to an old lady. Do you know what I mean? So, like, why? I don't know. I just can't. I find it fascinating, but this is me finding it fascinating. Magnificent Ox, good morning, Tinder Catfish, and Stacy. Hi, you guys. So, what is your take on celebrities behaving badly in big public forums. Like, I just find it really interesting. I just think it's what the what. Because today is What the What Wednesday on Live Every Day. Steve is saying they think they are better and above everyone. They are also not held to the same standards as the rest. Grass Puddle just said hi to Mindy. Anna says, I need to watch the dance into the movies with Derek and Julianne Hough. Super interested in that. It's on Disney Plus now. Dances to the movies? I don't even know what that is, Anna. I have no idea what that means. Mindy says anxiety. You think they have anxiety, celebrities, when they're in these public situations? I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting that these are big moments in their lives and really major things happen and they know everybody's watching. That's all. Okay. Anyway, the rest of us don't have to worry about it. You guys, let's go to some What the What news. Are you ready? We've got a Pokemon card just sold for $420,000 at an auction. Is this the moment that you all go to your closets and start digging through things to find? Actually, I want to know that. That is something I really want to know. Those of you who are out on Backchannel, go to backchannel.tv. If you have your Echo Show, talk to your Echo Show device. Your magic word is say. Echo, say, I have a Mickey Mantle card. Everybody over at YouTube and Facebook, do you collect things? Are you a collector? Do you have baseball cards? Do you collect stamps, coins? All right, let's see. I want to know if you are a collector. In a bid to catch all the Pokemon, someone just paid $420,000 at an auction for a, Anna, you know I do not know how to say that. How do I say that? Charizard card? Charizard? And I have no idea. How do you say that? Stick with that? Okay, I'll stick with that. The rare 1999 Pokemon base set, that was actually perfect. Oh, great. Shadowless first edition Holo Charizard card was sold last week in the PWCC March premiere auction. The sale sets the all-time record for a base set Charizard card. How about a base set for anything? The auction house said in a statement, you guys, what makes the card so unique is its perfect PSA 10 gem mint grading. Nobody knows what that means. Even though there are 3,000 copies of this card, only 121 have been given that designation, according to the PWCC. Also, good morning to Selena and Canny Orca. Canny Orca, that's interesting. You guys, y'all out on the Echo Show, let me know. Do you collect anything? You could just say Echo, say baseball cards. Echo, say, do you remember when everybody was into the quarters? Everybody was into the quarters and everybody was trying to get all of the states. That was a thing for a second. Yes? No? No one? Garbage Pail Kids? All right, Anna says the Gem MT or the GM MT 10, the Gem Mint, a PSA Gem Mint 10 card is virtually a perfect card. Attributes include 4 perfectly sharp corners, sharp focus, and full original gloss. Who cares? 420, that's insane. A first edition 1999 Pokemon Charizard number 4 card sold earlier this month for $336,000 at Heritage Auctions. It too had a PSA 10 gem mint grading. Last year, a 1995 Pokemon Japanese Top Sun Charizard blue-black card with a PSA 10 gem mint grading sold for $493,000 at Golden Auctions. You've got to be kidding. That is an absolute what the what. Do y'all think that this makes sense? Okay, fine. None of us are collectors, so we're not going to have anything like that. But do you agree that a card should be worth $500,000? You've got to be kidding me. Chris and I are going to get back into the Pokemon game. No kidding. Anna's like, I'm going to go buy every Pokemon card on the planet. That's okay. I just have a lot of thoughts about it. I just cannot believe somebody would pay another human being $400,000 for a card. Because what then do you do with the card? I don't get that concept at all. Anna says, I know people who are into magic and people buy individual cards to add to their decks, sometimes for $50 to $100, just to add to their deck and play it at tournaments. Fine. $50, fine. You know, you want to get into it, that's okay. But, and I'm not going to get into a whole story about like, you know, Serbia and Africa and Ukraine and, you know, people who can't afford to give their kids lunch every day. We're not even going to go into that. I'm just talking in the whole concept of I need somebody to explain to me. That was funny, Anna. What do you then do with the card? That's the only part I can't figure out. Is it worth something? Is it special? Sure. But what happens? You've now paid $500,000 for the card to do what? What does it do? Does it sit? Do you frame it on a wall? Cheap guinea pig. They left. I need somebody to explain to me. Grassful saying that's capitalism, comrade. It's fine. I mean, I used to collect baseball cards. I get like Mickey Mantle. Also, that's a real person. Okay. Sit somewhere. Yes, framing. I don't get it. Okay, fine. Also, you guys, there is this very interesting thing that's happening in the Philippines. Anna, I don't know. I mean, we could go into the next one. I really want to talk about this guy. I think this is so fascinating. This is fast. I sent Anna this article forever, but I think she already saw it. Oh, you want to do this one? Okay, that's fine. Perfect. We'll do this. We'll come back to the other guy later because I have so many thoughts about the other article as well. A striking work of nature, the search for a rare flower in the Philippines jungle. Now, this makes somewhat sense to me more than the Pokemon card. This is like actually growing in the world. Yeah, yes. Okay. Steve says the card will sit and just it will gain value like stamps or art. It will only get rarer, pretty good investment. You say that, but then what about like the tulip thing that happened in, where was that? Holland? Where was the big tulip situation? What's that big famous story about the tulips? Who knows what I'm talking about? Where everybody invested all this money into tulip bulbs and they were like, oh, these are the most expensive things in the world. They're very, very rare. And then it didn't pan out. It's only worth the money if people think it's worth the money. This makes sense more. This makes more sense because it's a flower. Chris Thorogood had to venture deep into the Luzon forest to set eyes on an extraordinary Rafflesia bandonia. I'm going to say it like I know. That flower is gorgeous. If you have a screen, you can look at it right now. Yeah, it's the great tulip thing. It's actually, Anna, they use it in business school all the time. Just Google like tulip bulb, whatever. It happened like in the 40s. I'm serious. It's like a real thing. And they use it in business to show demand and supply or something like that. I didn't take business, but they referred to it all the time. They have a sculpture of this flower at the Columbus Zoo. Really? And it smells bad. Like it's the whole thing. It smells bad. You can stick your head in it. You can stick your head into this sculpture at the Columbus Zoo and it smells bad. I love that somebody else knew that this flower existed. Okay, so this man traveled 6,600 miles and battled through the tropical assault course of the Luzon rainforest to see this rare and extraordinary flower that ignited his childhood imagination 30 years ago. I'm going to pause. I'm all for your dreams. Actually, you know what? That's great. I'm all for your dreams, Chris. 6,000 miles? I don't get it. You'll show me next time? Okay, great. Thorogood, he's 38, last month became the first Westerner to see the Rafflesia bandonia, the otherworldly looking red spotted species that spans half a meter across, an experience that reduced him to tears. Quote, it's hard to put into words the feeling, he said on Sunday. It's a combination of the exertion of the trek, which is quite intense, but also the feeling of sharing a moment with something just rare and striking and a work of nature that you can't see anywhere else except for the Columbus Zoo. It's a bit of a tearjerker to sit with something like that. So this is the rarest, most elusive species like ever, named after Sir Stamford Raffles, the founder of modern Singapore. The flowers are only found in the deep rainforest of the Luzon, I'm mispronouncing that, island in the Philippines. Fascinating. Thorogood is the deputy director of the Oxford Botanical Garden and Arboretum. He describes it as the world's most whooping weird plant. So he's a botanist. So that's a big deal to him. Congratulations, Chris. I think that's fantastic. There is nothing I would cross 6,000 miles for. I'm serious. I was really trying to think of something, but I don't think I would. Is there anything that you would? Because I can't imagine. However, this next story, I've been dying to talk about this for so long. Courtney said that's pretty impressive considering there's over 700. There's 700 of those plants. Oh, you're saying like that he did. Listen, I don't understand. Because here's my question. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I was going back and forth. This man stops his life, right? Courtney stops his life. He travels to the Philippines. He gets to a jungle. He walks and he has to go through. We have no idea what this man faced. Sees the flower, cries, and then what? Did he photograph it? Did he pick it? Did he take a selfie with it? Like, how do you then hold on? Did someone paint him with the flower? My whole question is, and then what? Like, and then what happens after that? That's what I want to know. Like, could he get, now this would make sense to me, Courtney. Did he get some pollen or some of the seeds, or maybe like get some of the root, like take some dirt samples? That I get. That is in the love of science and getting our world, like watch cancer be solved because of this man. That would be phenomenal. But is it just to go see the flower and then you turn around? Like, how do you leave? I would like write it a sonnet and leave. Okay, I did not expect the guy to look like that. Those of you who have, Courtney said, it's like when I feel, this is fantastic, when I walk into a Louis Vuitton store and I leave with nothing. Courtney, that might be the greatest analogy I've ever heard in my life. That is absolutely brilliant. This guy's really young. Now, somebody must have taken that picture for him. Well, I guess he could have set it up and done it himself for sure. It's a beautiful flower. I just need to know the after story. That's what I always want to know. Anna says people probably say the same thing about those obsessed with going to a concert or Broadway shows, except you can continue to listen to the music. If you love, Billy Joel, you put on his music and listen to it all day long. You have Spotify. I don't know. I mean, that's probably true. Courtney and Anna coming in with logic. Okay, so moving on. I got to say, I've been wanting to talk about this story for so long because this to me is the most what thing I have ever read, ever shared on the show. And it's a quiet day here, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the quiet because I have a lot of feelings today about this next story. There's a man in Japan. Surely you've heard about this. And you can hire him to sit with you. That's it. Nathan, I hate logic. This is fascinating to me. Now, we know people hire people to do all sorts of things, and this is a morning show, so we're not going to go through the list, okay? Children listen, and it's too early for that. But this literally is not any of those things. It's not like a date. It's not like more than a date. It's none of that. I just can't. The employers say he wasn't doing anything. Now he makes money as Japan's, quote, do nothing guy. This is a story coming out of Tokyo. All right. Before moving out of Tokyo for her new job, Akari Shirari, we're going to pretend that's correct. I am so sorry to every human that I mess up your name because I think that's horrible. Your name should be said correctly. I have a big thing about that. She wanted to eat at her favorite restaurant that she used to visit with her husband. There was one issue. She didn't want to be flooded with thoughts about her divorce by going alone, but she didn't feel like inviting a friend and explaining the situation either. So she rented Japan's quote, do nothing guy. Like this woman actually paid money, and not just her. A lot of people do this. So here's the thing. I'm going to keep reading this. Does this make sense to you? Especially Mindy. She's our resident therapist. But those of you on Backchannel, go to backchannel.tv, go to your Echo show. Would you rent someone? Would you either way, would you pay someone to do nothing with you? Or, and I actually have a little bit of a story on this, would you allow yourself to make money this way? I want to know your thoughts. So their near silent lunch lasted 45 minutes. Akari says she ordered her favorite dish and intermittently asked questions. So now that's where I would have a problem. I would talk the entire time. Either way, if I paid or if I, you know what I mean? I don't know. If I was there, if I was getting paid, I would talk. If I paid, I would talk. That's what I'm trying to say. She shared memories of her marriage and showed him a photo from her wedding. He nodded and gave curt answers. That's hilarious. Sometimes a dry laugh. He never initiated conversation. Like, are there rules? Does he have a website? Do they sign a contract? You know what I mean? So for years, there's been a cottage industry in Japan and South Korea of renting strangers to impersonate friends, family members, other acquaintances as a way to save face at social functions where plus ones are expected. I kind of get that. I feel like we have 17 Hallmark movies on this, or at least some rom-coms, right? Where you can like rent a date or rent like, right? Like The Wedding Guest or The Wedding Date. Isn't that a real movie? Oh my gosh. Nathan says it makes complete sense for extroverts or people dealing with crazy trauma. You would die. I would die if I couldn't talk. Pretty woman. Right. But Courtney, she's providing other services and she does talk. You're just going to sit or you're going to have someone just sit. And I get the whole like saving space with you. Like, in the Jewish culture, sitting Shiva, I understand that. Yeah, but if I showed pictures to someone and I got a curt response, I would freak out. I need interaction. Good morning, Stacy. She's having Fruity Blast for breakfast. Okay, so for years, I said that, but over the past 4 years, Soji Morimoto is 38. He has built a cult following by allowing himself, as a warm body, simply to just be there, liberating his clients from social expectations of the spoken and unspoken norms of Japanese society. Morimoto, nicknamed Rental-san, incorporating an honorific, has inspired a television series, stop it, and 3 books. You got to be kidding. I've worked my whole life for a television series and 3 books. Nathan said this might actually be more traumatic for you than eating alone. For sure. Yes. If I sat there and spoke and someone didn't speak back to me, that would probably be more traumatic than me eating alone. I agree with you. He has drawn international attention through his viral social media posts. I love that he's active on social media. He speaks there, but he doesn't speak in person. Morimoto's gigs have run the gamut. He waited at the finish line of a marathon for a client who wanted to see a familiar face at the end of the race. It's interesting. Someone hired him to sit with them while they finished their thesis. That one I kind of get more than any of them because they might slack off working alone. That one makes sense to me. I got to say, he listens to healthcare workers describe the mental health toll of the pandemic. So what would you rent someone for? That's my new question. If you could rent somebody, what would they sit there for? Would it be at the end of your marathon? Would it be so you finish a thesis? Would it be to watch you while you folded your laundry? He charges 10,000 yen, about $85 per session, and is most frequently hired to accompany people who are at a turning point in life, who want to rewrite traumatic memories or experience a vulnerable moment they had, or they feel uncomfortable sharing with friends or family. Okay, now I'm intrigued. He'll just be there with no judgment and away from your personal space. Courtney says to be my hype man. Nathan says maybe it's because of the culture. It makes more sense. Actually, now I'm starting to really get this. One woman hired him to accompany her as she filed her divorce papers. Okay, yes. Now I'm starting to get this. This is making sense to me. He once sat with a client for a hemorrhoid surgery consultation with plenty of graphic photos. Someone hired him for a dramatic farewell as they boarded a bullet train to move from Tokyo to Osaka and showed up and waved goodbye. Yes. Mindy, I feel like we just hit the jackpot on this. Okay, Morimoto often finds his clients don't want to burden people they care about with their needs. I'm now so into this. Quote, I think when people are feeling vulnerable or on their immediate intimate moments, they want to become more sensitive toward people that are close to them, like how they would be perceived or the kind of actions they will take for them, he said. So I think they just want to reach out to a stranger without any strings attached. Courtney just hit the nail on the head. He's the moral support guy. That's exactly right. To tell people not to bother me. Oh my gosh. Now I get this. As someone who has experience and is completely in the middle of some really massive trauma, I 100% get this. Now I'm all obsessed. Okay. Unlike the others in the rental cottage industry, the expectations for Morimoto are minimal. Still, he provides educational support that many people crave, but they have trouble finding, especially during the pandemic, when that has exacerbated the feelings of isolation, says Yasushimi Fuji, a psychology professor at the University of Tokyo. Interacting with friends and other people, there are always unknown factors that come into play, but meeting with a rental son is very easy to know what to expect and to be in full control of the situation. A handful of other rental people have similar shticks, like a guy who gets hired to play, hired to be treated to meals and self-professed ugly guy who claims to boost others' self-esteem. Oh, that's kind of sad. But Morimoto has cornered the niche market of doing nothing for cash, and people now hire him for the novelty. Morimoto grew up in Kansai, the southern region of Japan, stumbled into the role after being told in previous jobs that he wasn't doing enough and didn't have enough initiative to succeed. He now has fulfilled roughly 4,000 inquiries and has 1 of 2 clients a day. Wow. Down from 3 to 4 before the pandemic. Between his gigs and royalties, he says he makes enough to do his part in maintaining a dual income household and raising a son. Quote, I was often told that I wasn't doing enough or that I wasn't doing anything. So this became a complex for me. I decided to take advantage of this and made it into a business, he said. This is now my favorite article I've ever read. The lifestyle works for Morimoto, who is not that talkative or expressive. Even when he's not working, he wears his signature blue hat and a hoodie and a blank stare so that clients can easily recognize him, but dresses up when the situation requires him to be more formal. Morimoto hesitates to make too many assumptions about why his business model has gained viral fame. He said, he has learned not to judge others and to have empathy for people who may be going through deep personal challenges but aren't showing it. Even if people look normal and fine on the surface, they often have shocking past or secrets or impossible problems, he said. People who come to me with crazy problems, they're usually not people that look like they're suffering. Everyone, even the ones who seem well, all have their own sets of problems and secrets. Favorite article I've ever read. That was absolutely fascinating. Oh my gosh. Mike, good morning. First time watcher out in New York. Hello. Trinity out in Louisiana. Oh my gosh. I have so many thoughts on this now. It's so funny. Okay, yeah. So Anna's saying, so he's married and he has a kid and he does this. And she says, I love that he also, right, was hired to wave goodbye as someone got on a train. Super cool. She says, I get it from an anxiety perspective and such. She says, I know that there's an art to knowing how to eat alone and be by yourself, but this is cool. Okay, but I'm going to speak from a place of trauma. There's not a lot of people on today, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to talk away. But those of you who are here, I'd love to hear your comments on this. We're going into the second hour of the show. It is now 9:00 on the East Coast, 8:00 here in Texas. Okay, so I'm not going to get into details, but I am going through a very traumatic situation. And tomorrow I have an appointment to go to because of it. I do. Now, I go to appointments all the time because of the trauma, but tomorrow's a big appointment day. And I can absolutely understand hiring somebody to come with me to that appointment, and I don't have to explain why, what is going on, tell my family, tell my friends, and the person could just come, show up. They would listen, I guess, because they would hear what's going on, but then they leave. And we never had to let me tell you, or da-da-da. During the traumatic event that I went through, it wasn't a hiring situation, but I was assigned somebody, and they did come and help me through the situation 2 different times, 2 different people, actually. I get this. In America, it's called an advocate. And sometimes, they will be there, but this makes so much sense. So for instance, I could see this. Let's say your spouse dies, your child dies, something horrific happens in your life, and it's the 1-year anniversary, and you want to go to their gravesite for the first time ever. And you don't want to get your friends, and you don't want to get everybody else. You don't want to bother anybody, because here's the thing: when you're a person who is in trauma, when you're a person who is chronically ill, when you're a person who faces a lot of hardships, you become stuck in the thought of, I am a burden. I am always, quote unquote, the cancer kid. I am always, quote unquote, the one who's sad, who's grieving. And you take on this concept. So you don't want to bother anybody anymore. So then you kind of put yourself on the back burner, and then you still have all this trauma and grief. So you could hire somebody to go with you for the first time ever to the gravesite that could stand there, so you're not alone. You do what you need to do. You grieve how you need to grieve. You both get in your cars and you go away. I absolutely could understand that. Anyway, Sheila says, friend, I will be your person for free anytime. Thanks, Sheila Grasspuddle says. Sheila already is my person. She's been there for me through so much of my trauma and things that I've gone through, for sure. Pumped Condor, hello, welcome. Do you guys have any comments out in Backchannel? Go to backchannel.tv. If you're on your Echo show, you can speak to your device. Echo, say, yes, I would do this. Yes, now I get it. Or no, that seems dumb. You can be totally honest. It started out as like a what to what, but now I get it. Like Anna says, yes, I agreed for something traumatic, and having an advocate or someone to be there for you is so good and necessary. How about this? I got a great example. I'll give a positive example, not to get too negative and whatever. My mom is not a shopper. She's never been a shopper, ever, ever, ever. Okay. So when it came to my wedding and shopping for my wedding dress, that wasn't her thing. Like she's not the mom, and she never was. I mean, that's just not her thing. You got to know people's personality. She was not the mom that was like, oh my gosh, let's go pick out all the flowers. Let's go pick out all the, the lights. Let's go. I don't know. I'm looking at lights, plant, whatever. I don't know, whatever you do for a wedding. She was not into the wedding dress either. So I went alone to find my wedding dress. I didn't have sisters. And at the time, I really didn't have best girlfriends at all. I do now. I would have girlfriends that would be able to go with me now. But at the time, it was really sad. I was all by myself finding my wedding dress. So this maybe wasn't positive. But I can see where that would be nice. I could have hired somebody to come and be someone who could come with the wedding dress. And when you think about it, that's kind of what you do when you hire a stylist. I'm hiring a stylist this weekend. I'm hiring somebody to go shopping with me. This is depressing. Okay, so never mind. Nobody wants to talk about it. I think it's fascinating. I think it's a great story. I also think it's really cool on the other side of finding something that was negative in his life and making it very positive. Like he was told, you stink, you're not good at this. And he's like, really? How about I become famous and I make a lot of money? How about that? I love it. Nathan says it's actually not much different than Pretty Woman. You're paying for people to come and go without explaining anything. It's true. It really is true. You're right. Oh, you are right. Anyway, oldest profession in the world. Mindy says, "Oh, I'm sad about the wedding dress shopping." Yeah, that was supposed to be a positive, like, "Oh, I can see her. That would be a really great thing." This was not a happy thing for me either. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying I see the value in this. But the hiring of the started part of the weekend, yes, because I'll be in DC and I met a stylist when I was in Florida, and she lives in DC, and that's what she does for a living. And I reached out to her and I was like, "Hey, you want to get together and you can style me, please?" She is looking into her schedule. So that would be nice. I've only worked with the stylist once, and I have gotten more compliments on what she brought into my life than anything else I've ever done. So they really know what they're doing. Sheila says, "Me too, Mindy. We should throw her a shower and take her shopping." Y'all are so cute. Y'all are so cute. Yeah, my wedding, I would love to redo at some point. There were not such great things around that whole thing. So, well, that's an upper, everybody. We're going into the second half of the show. Welcome back, everybody. Jeez. What the what? The Packer was a good idea too. I still want her number. Oh, yes. So my professional Packer is coming tomorrow. She is. I called my girlfriend who owns the company. Nathan, what is the name of the company that we use? I did want to plug them, Anna. I wanted to put them on the screen. Nathan, are you there? Maybe Anna can text him and ask what the name of the professional company is. So they are a professional organizing company, and they're organizing our home right now. Upper Wednesday, yeah, for sure. And then they also are coming. Okay, but you can hear me, Nathan. What is the name of the company that is professionally organizing our home and packing me? Because I'd like Anna to put them on the screen and for people to support them. But anyway, they'll be here tomorrow and they're going to pack me because it looks like I'm going to go on a longer trip than I thought I was going to. And I thought that they would be fantastic. Control the Chaos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Control the Chaos is the name of the company here in Houston, Texas. And so you could follow them, Control the Chaos. If you could put that up there, Anna, or find something about them, maybe put their website or something. I don't know. They are phenomenal. And they will be here tomorrow. Holly not only comes and packs me, but she organizes everything, talks me through everything, or helps me figure out what to do and how, because this is not something that's easy for me. It's something that actually brings a lot of stress and anxiety to my life. And being on the road is stressful and full of anxiety, period. You know, there's a lot of anxiousness, especially things I've been going through. And so this is a nice way. Hey, that's mine. Scroll down. That's mine. That is me right there. No. Come back down, please. Right there. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that. Oh, it keeps going to words. That right there, that picture, that is a closet in my house. Sorry, Anna. Yeah, that's so funny. So yeah, that's part of my house. Anyway, but yeah, so it brings me a lot of peace. And the service is worth it. And I think it's an interesting concept to talk about. It goes into that story, which was sad for sure. But in some ways, it's also positive because what you're doing is you're finding a solution to something that is a negative in your life. Divorce, you can't clean, anxiety, whatever, you're moving. What does this say? Anna, it's kind of small for me. I'm so sorry, friend. Moving down, moving, downsizing, loss, whether you are dealing with items from a late loved one or unpacking after a recent move, our professional organizers are here to help you through some of life's difficult transitions. And this is what I want to say. You would think this is a luxurious item, and I am speaking from a place of privilege 100%. I absolutely own that. Absolutely own that. I can't say that I'm not. However, there are other things on the planet that when you go through things and I think this might even be a deeper subject than we want to talk about. When your everyday gets out of control, it absolutely is a sign of what's going on inside, right? And we dismiss it. Oh, I'm messy. Oh, I don't know how to clean. Oh, whatever. But it's so overwhelming to people who are in tragic loss. You know, if their spouse suddenly dies, if a child suddenly dies, if you lose a job that you've had for 50 years, if you or losing your mortgage, if there's 1,000 reasons, big trauma, little trauma, and your living space just gets into a place that you can't function, right? And you have no way to figure out how to get out of it. I'm telling you, it brings so much peace. Mindy says, not all of us are born knowing how to order our private world. And it's true. And I think, yes, if you have money, you're able to do things that other people can't do. 100%. And you're able to make decisions that, I'm not sitting here deciding, oh, do I give my kid a sandwich? Like, do I pay for my family to eat? Or am I, I'm not having to make really hard decisions right now. I'm not fleeing my country because I'm in war. I'm not, trying to dodge. God, there's just so many awful things on the planet. I'm like trying not to go too down a hole. I'm in a safe space. I have enough money to feed my children. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not having to meet needs. This is 100% a want. Nathan says, what I said to the owner yesterday, this is exactly what we needed. And at the same time, we did not know the reasons we would need it. And that's true. Just speaking from my space, there was so much we needed in this. It's been so much more, and I'm sure absolutely Mindy understands this the best. It's been so therapeutic and cathartic having them here, and they talk to me. Like, we'll go through certain stuff and I will talk it out. And then I'm like, I don't need that anymore. Or we should get rid of it. It is just really fascinating. You would think it's just a cleaning service. It's just an organization service, but it's way more than that. I would put it in the category of therapy. I really would. I don't know. But especially also, I got to be honest, I wasn't going to have them come pack for me. But those of you who are listening, who are my friends and who know what's going on in my life, I have to go back to Connecticut. And I leave on Saturday for the beginning of the trip. And I started getting really overwhelmed with the concept. So to have Holly come tomorrow and help organize that, pack it, put it, she's going to think about it. She's going to get it together for me. It's just one piece I don't have to deal with. Do you know what I mean? For those of us who are dealing with things. So, discreet catfish, hello, welcome. Just stuff to talk about. And here's my point. Money or not, right? If you have the extra to do whatever, mental health is mental health. You've got to figure out a way to take care of yourself, to get yourself in a safe space and do what you can at a level that you can financially. You know what I mean? So even if that looks like, because I get it, again, talking about from a place of privilege, it's easy for me to say. People who are working 7 jobs every day, they can't go take a breather. They can't go take a bath. They can't do whatever. They're trying to survive. And when you're in survival, we've talked about this. We've talked about breathing techniques, which I was going to talk about this today, actually. That's really, really helped me when I was working with someone recently, helping me through what I'm facing. He taught me a breathing technique that I have been using a lot, and it's called the 3-2-5 method. And this is what's great. It doesn't cost anything to do breathing. Okay. 3-2-5. So what you do is you breathe in through your nose for 3 seconds. You hold it for 2 seconds. You breathe it out for 5. So I wanted to do it with everybody who's here because I think it's worth learning. Because again, this doesn't cost any money. This isn't about privilege. This isn't about finances. This isn't about anything, but this is about your mental state, your health, where you are, and to take a moment to recognize you, to calm yourself down, to acknowledge yourself as a person, and to say, this is an act of self-love. This is an act of self-love to say, I see that you are in a space, and I'm going to pause and recognize it and give you something to help you get out of this space. That's what this is. Okay, so we're going to do this breathing. 3, 2, 5. So I'll do my fingers, but I'm going to do it as well. Are you ready, everybody? We're going to breathe them for 3. Ready? Isn't that amazing? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anna says, yes, agreed for something traumatic. Oh, yeah, and having advocate. Yeah, I already read that. Sheila says, one of my best friends does this company. It's called Truly Transformed. It's in New Jersey. She changed my life, helping me get my house in order when we moved. It's really shocking. Mindy says, so grateful she is coming to help you. Use all the avenues for support. And I think that's true. I think you've got to absolutely use all the avenues for support. Hopefully that helps you with the breathing, everybody. It's a little something to get you through your week. No matter what stage of life you're in, whether it's really luxurious or not. So that's what I want for you. You guys, for the rest of the day, there's a lot coming up. I know you know this, but we've got a new show. I guess I don't need to say it's a new show anymore. It's called Get On Up with Jam and Renee. They're actually going to hop on at the end of the show. You'll get to meet Jam and Renee if you haven't before. They're going to hop on. We're going to hear what's coming up with them. But their show comes every day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 12 on the East Coast. Then you've got from 12 to 2, the Anthony Davis Show. From 2 to 4, you've got Your Pal Hal. And from 4 to 6, you've got the Mario Smith Show, which is called The Drive. So don't go anywhere. We've got a really interesting article. Anna's going to pull up an article about retirees who live on a cruise ship. Now, I knew this like happened because this is really interesting. I met a guy when I was 21 years old in the back of a car in Oahu, in Hawaii. We both hopped into the back of a car. It is my favorite meet cute. I think I've talked about that before. A meet cute is in a film when two characters meet for the first time and it's their story. This is my story. He was my best friend for years, for 20 years. Sean and I were best friends forever. We were just talking the other day, but we've lost kind of touch over the years. He became a corporate lawyer, but we jumped into the back of a car at the same time in Hawaii and survived something crazy and stayed in touch forever. And our story went into all sorts of things, you know, our journey meeting like that and throughout the years, meeting in college and all the whatever. One of the interesting parts about this story is he went to live on a cruise ship for a full semester. He was gone even longer. He was gone 6 months, I think, because he did semester at sea, but he did something on top of that. And here's the part that was really fascinating. Besides, he would write me about semester at sea. He would call, he would tell me what was going on. Like he got to go to India and feed the starving with, and it wasn't religious, and he wasn't religious at the time. He's not now, he's spiritual, but Mother Teresa, like where she was in Calcutta, there was a place that they would allow people to come and serve alongside them. And he got to do that for a full day. And those stories that he had in Calcutta are just absolutely amazing. But what was interesting about this was he said that there was like 200 retirees that lived on the cruise ship. So it was these college kids. And then you've got these people who are retired living on the cruise ship. And they live there all the time. You know, they never like get off of the boat. It wasn't a world cruise. It wasn't one of those where like you pay $50,000 and you go away for like, 7 months and you see the world. They literally lived there as a community. So when I saw that this article was coming up, I thought this is fast. I hadn't heard about that since Sean lived on a boat. People ask, do you get bored at sea? Says Janice, yet 77 years old. She says, quote, I say, are you kidding me? When Jeff Farshman, 72, first retired from his role as vice president at Lockheed Martin Services in 2004, he planned on spending his winters as a snowbird, enjoying the warm temperatures of the Caribbean. But all that changed when Hurricane Ivan wreaked havoc on the Grand Cayman Island. That was his island of choice in September of that year. So he made what would become a life-changing pivot. Since he already booked himself a week-long cruise to Bermuda, he decided to extend his travels to include 6 back-to-back cruises, 4 to Bermuda and 2 to the Caribbean. So that would make it a 47-day trip. That's crazy. This extensive journey became what he now says is how he's spending his retirement, living 7 to 8 months on the Holland America cruise line ships, Funny enough, that's my favorite cruise line is Holland America. I love Holland America. So do my kids. I grew up on them and my kids have grown up on them. It turns out Farshman is just one of the dozens of retirement age people spending a bulk of their time living at sea. There are plenty of ways to make it happen, from combing standalone itineraries to purchasing a unit of residential, like a unit on a cruise ship. People ask, do you get bored? And this is a semi-retired travel agent who lives 4 months a year aboard a ship. She says, are you kidding me? Let me show you the daily program. There's so much to do if you want to do it. Good morning, Donnie, out in Florida. Now, here's what's interesting. A lot of people think cruises are bougie, and a lot of them are. But when you think about it, okay, the reason why I tell people all the time, you know what, save it for a cruise, especially if you're a small family. You can get cruises. I'm not kidding. You can get last minute deals. You can look at stuff. I've gone on a cruise for $399 before. $399. That is your hotel. That is all of your food. That is your transportation. So you don't get off the ship if you don't have any money beyond that. What can you do for $400 for a week? A week, $399. And then it was like, and kids are like $100. I'm not kidding. Under 12 years old, it's incredible. It's like so cheap to live, to eat, because that's what people don't understand. Everything's included on a cruise. And it's really great with like families. You have adult time, you have kid time, because they have like they have childcare on the boat. I'm telling you, I think people don't understand how affordable it can be. Now, are there bougie cruises? Absolutely. Sure. I'm sure people go on those all the time. But you can find some incredibly cheap deals. I'm not kidding. And then it's amazing. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so Richard, who's 80, found Holland America's Line Grand World Voyage. Now, this is a huge cruise, yes, that goes to the whole world for 128 days. Perfect way to escape Chicago's harsh winters while seeing the world. Quote, you have a room on the ship, that's your home. The staff feeds you, exactly, provides you entertainment, cleans your room twice a day, meets all the needs of this stage of life. He says we make friends, and we come back with the same people year after year. They've already taken the Holland America Grand Voyage 12 times. That's crazy. They're looking into a 2023 voyage aboard Holland American's 1,972 passenger, the MS Zuurdam. A big selling point for Yick is that the company's world cruises, they typically sail round trip from Fort Lauderdale. I don't want to fly halfway around the world to get on a cruise ship, she says. Florida's easy. Would you do this? Would you get on a cruise? I know we've kind of talked about this before. Measly Wolf, hello. Welcome, welcome. Those of you who are watching, go to Echo. You know, I see a lot of you are on the Echo, so go to Echo, say yes, I would do this in a heartbeat. Echo, say no, that's crazy. Trinity, who is listening, same with London and Karamas. Stacy, you can go to backchannel.tv and chat with me there. But what I think is interesting is, like Sean, my friend who was on a ship with the retirees, what he had to say, it reminded me, and this was in the 90s when he went, and we've kind of talked about this on the show, how they take, like retirement communities, or how do we say that now? Like adult centers where people go for the day or whatever, and they pair it with pre-K kids or kindergarten kids, and like an older adult, a retiree, or somebody who, you know, is kind of in a later stage of life, and then a little tiny kid who needs a buddy, and they pair them up. Have you heard about this? I think we've talked about this, Anna. Am I making that up? Did I just make that up? It's a beautiful concept because you've got two populations who need specific interaction. Little kids need someone to sit and listen to them, tell stories, or want to do the boring things they want to do, play with Play-Doh for 400 hours, or put beads on a string. And let's be honest, it's kind of similar at the end of life. They have a lot of stories that people don't want to listen to anymore. They're able to sit and do crafts for a really long time. And a lot of people find the older generation boring. You've got these two populations who together can sit here and support each other. You know what I mean? Sean, at the time when he was on the ship, said it was a very similar thing because you've got these teenagers, 20-year-old kids who actually needed a lot of guidance, he said, and needed to talk to people who had wisdom. It was almost like a mentorship program, which was not intentional. That's what I think is so interesting about that story is you can see where people can still contribute in a really positive way. Whereas, like in this country, in a lot of countries, we don't value the older generation, which is a shame. Okay, so while Sydney-based CEO Tony DeLinde, 69, could retire, he's not yet ready. Instead, DeLinde has found a way to run his various businesses while still living a portion of his life at sea. For 8 years, DeLinde owned apartments aboard the World. That's fascinating. A private 165 resident cruise ship that launched in 2002. During the time, he spent 3 to 5 months aboard annually. Quote, the concept of combining a nice environment to work from and then going to sleep in Venice and waking up in Croatia, he said, that's great. Wow. Mindy, that is so down your alley. Yeah, she says I would do this for sure. Rebecca says, my father-in-law was in a nursing home that was also a daycare for toddlers. It was amazing for him. I love, this is again, like the story from earlier, like this is a good What to What Wednesday, I believe, because it's problem solving and not that either, community is a problem, but for them, they have problems. You know what I mean? And it's a way to say, you know what? Here is something that is a challenge in this community. Here's something that's a challenge in this community. What if we brought them together and they could help each other out? There's some really great, I mean, this is why I love the TV show Sunday Morning. If anybody watches that on CBS, it's like my favorite TV show. And that's where I saw this first story, Rebecca. Exactly this, where you have, a nursing home and a daycare put together, and each little kid is paired with their own older adult. And they just sit there all day together, talking, telling stories, eating pudding. I mean, like, it's like the same thing. I'm not kidding. Using stamps. I'm telling you, whoever came up with that was an absolute genius. And I think this makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, maybe we haven't talked about it on the show. I thought we did. Yeah, I don't know. But it really is brilliant. So for those of you who do want a vacation when the pandemic is over and you don't want to be that close to people, look into the cheap deals of a cruise. Because you got to remember, it's for a full week, your hotel, all your food, transportation, unless you get off the boat and walk around. You got to be kidding. I mean, that's like unbelievable. Now, they're going to tell you, if you're going to go live there, that's a whole different thing. And that's why I don't think I could do it. I mean, it's super, but this is not for the world things. I've seen them at about 20,000. That said, what, over $1 million? I mean, that's a lot of money. Living aboard a cruise ship doesn't come cheap, but this is talking about living, not visiting for a week. For example, a fully furnished residence. Okay, you're talking about a residence aboard is going to cost between 1 and 8 million. There's only 12 to 24 leases. How are there 12 to 24 people sitting around with $1 million, $8 million saying, if only I had a boat to live on? That's crazy. That start at 400,000. Well, I know a Pokemon card you could sell and do this for 1 year. In addition, there's monthly homeowners association style fees according to the style of the residence, and they cover everything from the show. That's just, I mean, I guess if that's where you're living, I get it. Okay. Wait a second. Hold on. Now that I'm thinking this through, if you are retiring and this is your home, this is your mortgage. However, you're also getting food. Does it make sense financially? I'm not sure. Maybe it does. I don't have that much money. Okay, you guys, let's play yay or nay. That's been a lot of thinking for for one, whatever that looks like. You've got to get a little creative sometimes. Anna has an article of parenting hacks that some of them make sense and some of them don't. You know what I mean? And I love when we do the yay or nay, because sometimes I think it's kind of funny. It's like watching something and thinking, yes, this is exactly how I feel. I would absolutely subscribe to this. And then after reading it or hearing your comments, there's many times I walk away and I'm like, okay, yeah, I see a different perspective. And I think that that's important with conversation. And what I love about what Backchannel is trying to do, to me, it's broadened my horizons, or it's at least giving me different ways of thinking or looking at things that I don't think I normally would have. Because a lot of times what you do on social media, let's be honest, you are stuck in an echo chamber. Hi, Slow Iguana. Good morning. Or you're kind of following the same feeds, or you're kind of, just kind of navigate towards the same stuff over and over, like all of a sudden, all I have on my feed will be like vegan recipes. I haven't been vegan since the pandemic, but I get them all the time because at one point, those were the accounts I followed. You know what I mean? In social media, you kind of navigate towards your interest. Okay, I was really into photography. So I'll get all this photography stuff still. Or I was really, when my kids were little and I was really into bargain hunting for like really cute clothes because I couldn't afford Janie and Jack. And I love Janie and Jack. So then I would find these places that would sell it for like $3. Okay, that's what I would be spending at Walmart, was $3. But now I can do that for Janie and Jack. So, it's kind of interesting where I think here on the show, we're not really in an echo chamber. We're not subscribing to the same things all the time. Everybody's coming here from a different space, a different state, which I find that interesting. So many of us are from different states and doing different things. And you know what I mean? And then your perspective changes. You know what I mean? Because you're like, we don't do that in Texas. Or this is something that's really important in Ohio. I'll give an example. Although Anna, it says that the dashboard on Backchannel is offline. I don't know if that always says that. I can't tell if like people are actually there or not. Just a little note. My son is super Southern. He was born in Texas. His mom's from Louisiana. He grew up doing all the things that I did. So, the other day, thank you. Okay, good. The other day he was calling my mom, which he is not a kid that calls his grandparents at all. Okay. But he did. It was Mardi Gras. And he was calling her because he said, Nana, I'm up in Pittsburgh, because that's where he lives currently. He lives in Pittsburgh. He's working in the inner city. And he said, no one knows that it's Mardi Gras. I don't understand, because in Texas, in Louisiana, in the South, in Alabama, Mardi Gras is a thing. Like, and I've talked about it, the parades, and we've talked about it on the show, and the king cakes and whatever. But even the day itself, it's like a day of celebration. People talk about it. People eat special foods. They do all this kind of stuff. And he was like, they do not do that here. Anna has shared about, what is it, Beggar's Night? Is that what it's called in Ohio, Anna? It's like something. We do Halloween, right? Everybody in the nation does Halloween, but all of a sudden Anna was like, we have Beggar's Night tonight. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. I don't even know what that is. Is that what that is? Halloween is not on October 31st for her. That's never an option here, unless it's like a hurricane. Everybody does October 31st. So it's just kind of interesting how just being around here, seeing different stuff comes up. Anna, is there anything you're able to bring up, either a game or an article or anything, or is that just not happening today? She had something, she was trying to bring up the game and we lost the dashboard for a second. Let's see. Okay, great. So now we can play yay or nay. I got to say, I feel like BuzzFeed has absolutely done a great job. That's hilarious. Okay. 30 parenting products reviewers say make life easier. Now, I know Anna is a parent. Mindy's a parent. Rebecca, I don't know. Sheila has lots of little ones in her life that mean the world to her. I know that. I know the grass puddle is a parent, but his wife is the one doing all the things. And everybody over at Backchannel, let me know what you think. So, yay or nay, all you have to do is go to backchannel.tv, type the word yay, type the word nay, or if you have an Echo Show, you can actually speak to it and you say, Echo, say yay, Echo, say nay. And then I know my YouTube, Facebook crew knows what to do. All right, Anna, let's get to the first one, friend. Number 1, a game-changing Honest Company diaper rash spray to help you change diapers like a ninja. They ensure your fingernails aren't victimized by the greasy, sticky paste. Is that a yay or a nay? It's a diaper rash cream, but it's sprayable. Rebecca says, I have 7 kids, 12 down to a year and a half. Rebecca, you're incredible. Friend, we could hang out. Do we know each other? Because that is like every human in my life. That would be great. I think that's fantastic. Where are you, Rebecca? Tell me where in the world you are. What state are you in? Mindy says, oh my goodness, you are in the thick of it. Yes, my youngest is 11. Your oldest is 12. That makes a difference. But it does help when they get older for sure. My friends with lots of kids. But that is amazing. And beautiful. My mom is the oldest of 10. High five, Rebecca. You're in Wisconsin? I love it. So do you need a diaper spray instead of diaper cream, like a diaper cream spray? Is that really necessary? You would try the spray? Rebecca says yes, 100%. Anna, you're kind of in little kidness. Anna says, we salute you. She says, I do have a bunch of Honest Company stuff. And she says, yes. Anna says, yes. She's got a little tiny one. She goes, yes. All right. Number 2, a viral TikTok toothbrush holder and dispenser for literally squeezing toothpaste on your child's brush for you, saving you the time to have to wipe down toothpaste smeared counters. These have got to have been invented by mothers. Wow, that's fancy. I kind of want that regardless. You put your toothpaste in the top of a holder, you take your toothbrush, you push it in a little like dispenser thing, and the toothpaste goes on the toothbrush. I mean, that you want to talk about something that is completely not necessary in life. 100% that is that. But that's really ingenious. This bad boy includes a toothpaste dispenser that'll squeeze every last ounce. So that'll also help my type A friends. 4 cups and holders to place and store toothbrushes. A review says, I love this. Makes brushing teeth with kids much easier. No more messes. I don't have to worry about them putting too much on the toothbrush. It does get messy inside where the toothpaste comes out, but it's easy to clean. Just pop the top off, rinse off. It makes my life easier. I am now going to buy this for every single friend I have that has 4 or more children. You know what I mean? Like it's $22. Available in 3 colors. That's now my go-to gift. Wait, who makes it? It's on Amazon? That is fantastic. Rebecca says, these are wonderful. We have one. You have one? You use way less toothpaste. Still needs to be cleaned often, but better than all over the counter. You have one? Rebecca, that is so rad. You know what? My brother and sister-in-law have 8 kids. That's what I'm getting them for Christmas. That is so cool. Streamline bedtime. Okay, I'm into that. Yes. Okay, Anna's getting one. All right, number 3, a pack of stick-on fever indicators that come handy during cold and flu season. Simply stick the bug on their head. It'll change color to indicate a temp, letting you know to monitor your child's fever for up to 48 hours. Here's why I think this is genius. I don't have this, and I have an 11-year-old. But yeah, Mindy, that's amazing. Temporary Goose, hello, welcome. You guys on Backchannel, especially those on Echo Show, tell me what you think. Do you think these are worth it? You can say Echo, say yes. Echo, say no. Echo, this is dumb. I don't know, say whatever you want. But it's so hard to take your kids' temp when they're sleeping. Even with the wipey things, like if you have one of those, like a digital one, you know what I mean? And yes, you lose, like you lose thermometers, whatever. That'll kind of just be a great way to come in and monitor and look and see, do I now need to go and do something more? Also, one of my favorite things is it's always a Mickey Mouse on it. So it must be, I don't know who makes it. Is it called like Easy Cool or something? It's a little, it's like a big sticker that has a cooling agent on it. So when they have fever, because I remember my mom would take washcloths, and dip it in ice and wring it out and then lay a wet washcloth on my head. You don't have to do that with that product. I think it's called Easy Cool. Yeah. And Anna's saying Ted won't sit still. That's because she has a little one. Those are really cute. Yeah, those are really cute. The little fever bug. Discreet catfish. Thank you. Yes, you would do this. I think it's great. And again, even if you don't have kids, it's kind of something. I mean, why not as an adult? If you're sick or your spouse is sick or your grandparent is sick, I could see where these would come in handy no matter what. All right, Anna, what's another one? I'm loving these so far. The best-selling Baby Einstein Take-Along Tunes musical toy with catchy classical melodies by Mozart, Vivaldi, and other masters, twinkling lights. Any parent would tell you this is their secret weapon to immediately calming down your fussy baby. I agree. I had something that would go on my son's crib, but this is even smaller and more portable. I love Baby Einstein. Back when my son was tiny little, I kept thinking, man, I'll tell you what, that woman who invented Baby Einstein, genius. She's got to be a multi-billionaire. Anna, is there ever, we should read an article on her for real. You know what I mean? Yeah, for real. Yeah. Anna just said she's going to get the fever bugs because her husband hasn't been feeling well. So she'll just stick one on his head. I love this, but I love everything Baby Einstein does. I really do. I think everything they do is fantastic. All right, Anna. Yeah, and that one's so tiny you could bring it in the car, all sorts of stuff. The Ollie Swaddle that makes bedtime less of a struggle. It wraps snugly to prevent your little one from escaping, breaking out, and boast and opening at the bottom to make diaper changes a breeze. The best part? Moisture wicking fabric to prevent overheating. Let's see that. Oh, so this is a specific type of swaddle. The what was the one when Zach was little? It was like a hippopotamus, or it's called like a poppypotamus. What is the name, Anna? Do they still have that company, or Kidpotamus? Is it Kidpotamus? My sisters had an aquarium with the light bulb moving with the fish in the crib. That is what my son had. Yes, I think Fisher Price actually made that one. 100%. And you put it on the aquarium, but I would bring that aquarium in the car, which was a lot bulkier, even with his pack and play. Rebecca says we had one, worked well. It does a few kids ago because it was used so much. Another product I used all the time with my kids when they were growing up was the portable Fisher Price swing. That was like a $40 product, which you could even find, used, but it folded up really tiny. You could bring it on trips. You could bring it to your girlfriend's house. You could use it in your house. It was just a portable Fisher Price swing. It was under $50. I'm telling you, I use that all the time. And it says her little one refused to be swaddled. He was too gassy. Sleep bags. I love sweet bags. I think it's Kidpotamus. I think that was the name of the product that I used all the time. A detangling brush is number 6 for gliding through knots and transform your kid's hair for a painless experience, minus the ouchies and tears for both of you. This specific brush has 40,000 reviews who gave it 5 stars. That's insane. How do you get 40,000 people to do anything? It's called Crave Naturals. Has anyone used this? I need to get that. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. My kid cries all the time. Oh, Anna, can you, is it Amazon? That's fantastic. See, this is what I'm saying. You don't even have to have tiny little ones. I would use that. Why wouldn't you use that? Like, why does it have to be for little kids? All right, number 7, a leave-in conditioning spray for curly hair. Again, you could be an adult and have this. Restore your little one's curls to their former glory in no time. Speed up your styling routine. The best part, it's free from any toxic stuff, including parabens, sulfates, and whatever that word is. I don't have curly hair. Do any of you have curly hair? Anybody have to deal with that on a daily basis where you're having to deal with that? Mindy says, yay for the Detangling Brush. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so that is kind of some stuff. I got to say, I kind of learned a little bit on that. And it kind of shows that a lot hasn't changed. Yeah, for the leave-in conditioner. I don't have curly hair though. Do you, Mindy, have naturally curly hair? That's what's so hard. You can grow up with people and think, like, I remember this. There was a girl that went to a high school that was not my high school. And we became really good friends in youth group. She actually ended up being a bridesmaid in my wedding. And it was not until our 30s, that I found out that she was not a blonde. I met her at 13. It was like one of the biggest catfishes in my life. Like I felt so gaslit. I was like, what? What do you mean you're not blonde? She was like, I started putting sun in my hair and then I just like continued using like products my whole life. Now she dyes her hair. Her hair was like my color apparently. Mindy, you have naturally curly hair. Okay, I couldn't remember. But like you'll meet people in high school and they'll have like really curly hair or they'll have like really straight hair. And then you find out later on in life, they're like, oh yeah, I used to get perms all the time or, you know, whatever. Or, oh no, I used to get up like 3 hours early to straighten my hair. And then you're like, what? That's insane. Oh my goodness. Okay. James and Renee are here. Fantastic. Yay. Hi friends. They are coming up next with Get On Up with Jim and Renee. Hi. You guys, we're talking about hair. I know that's like so
as
silly.
You should.
All these products. I know. But did you ever have a friend that years later you found out something about them and you were like, what? I feel so
I had no idea. I had no idea. Liv, I think I might be that friend. The amount of dyeing and Brazilian straightening and then curling again.
I wasn't sure where we were going with the Brazilian, but that was about to get really interesting, Renee. Listen, this is a morning show.
Good morning, everybody. And we're canceled. Counseled. We're doing counsel.
We did it. I'm just kidding.
Show again. I don't know if we can really put our thumb on how that happened, but she did not return after that.
It's because they're trying to kick me off, and you guys were here to tell me. So, good morning, friends. Good morning. What hair color do you actually have? Is it like I'm a natural? We don't know.
Gray as the day is long. Live this pandemic. There's not one real brown hair on me anymore. It is a real to do. Yeah,
it's trauma. I love it. It's Jam. Everything about you is natural, and what we see is what we get.
Yeah, I literally woke up like this. Beyonce wrote the song about me. I rolled out of bed, and this is me. Hi. No, I used to dye my hair back in college. Like Cisco was a thing, so I was like, I got you, Cisco. So like blonde, red. It's like my rebellious stage. So that was that, and then I was like, this is foolish. No one's taking me seriously. I couldn't get on The Price is Right because my hair was too blonde. It's a thing. Yeah.
That is amazing.
They went with the other black guy who didn't have bleach blonde hair. It was too much on television. Yes.
Jeez. Just because I went with the frosted tips for 1 year.
Backstreet
We all had those mistakes. I used to crimp my hair. That was also a time I'm pretty sure I had no friends. So this is good. This is funny. You guys, what's coming up on your show today on Jim Renee? I love your set. You're like, and at 8:07, we have you're like so adulty. I love it. You were my goal.
That is 100% Jam. That is Jam's organization. If it were up to me, it would just be showcasing my gray hair. I was like, and then over here, you'll notice. So thank God.
Let's all get our tweezers and pluck.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. So the train is on the tracks because of Jam, but he did give me the agenda, in which I will tell you, did you know that it is National Take a Walk in the Park Day? So we will be celebrating our favorite parks, the benefits of going to the park. You'll hear all about it. And it's still Women's History Month. So Jam will have a nice little, we'll swing the gamut. Trees are great. So are women. Yeah. So
we'll get balance. We got balance. The whole gamut is here. Yeah.
I think I should only talk about Dolly Parton every day. Like I don't know a better woman on the planet.
We talk about her so much. I think she's like, y'all give it a rest. I'm sure she's so humble. She wouldn't accept the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So she's like, y'all stop talking about me. There's other women. So she's asked us to share the wealth. She was one of the commenters. She was humble hippo.
Yes.
Thank you, Dolly.
Today she's imported rattlesnake. So
oh, see,
hello, Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
Dolly,
it's
Dolly.
you.
I love, like, I don't know, y'all are both like probably 75 years younger than me, but I was talking the other day about Crystal Gale. Do you know who Crystal Gale is? Do you remember who that person is at all?
Liv, I'm old enough to be your mother. Yes. Speaking of hair, Crystal Gale, my goodness gracious.
You're so
all the
cute.
way down.
We're both
all the way down to the
27.
tickets.
It's fine. Yes. So when I was when I was little, I had long hair. My parents did not cut my hair until 3rd grade because I wanted to be Crystal Gale. My hair would go down the drain. I would have to pull it out. Not kidding. There's trauma, you guys. There's lots of trauma. So
some maintenance.
Crazy.
Okay.
So I was out yesterday and I saw in our little tiny, I live in a tiny town outside of Houston. I say Houston. Crystal Gale's coming in June.
Oh boy.
I just bought VIP
folks.
tickets to see her.
Yeah, of course you
I
did.
just wanted to share that with y'all. That
Absolutely.
is my contribution to Women's Month. That's it. That's all I had. That's
great. That's perfect.
Crystal Gale still alive. Okay.
Still around.
So
and I'm seeing her
if you guys
VIP.
want more than that, stick around for Get On Up with Jam and Renee, where you're actually going to improve as a human.
Continue
so
improving. It's a handoff.
Right. Thank you.
You're like, okay,
Thank you.
You're up, and now it's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work here. That's
it's a village. It's going to take a village to raise the rest of us. You guys, thank you so much.
Is.
Don't go anywhere because Jam and Renee are coming up with Get On Up with really beautiful segments about all sorts of stuff that have nothing to do with Crystal Gale. But I got to be honest, Dolly Parton's what made me think of Crystal Gale because that was all kind of in the same time period. But I was so excited to see that she was coming. And I did. I bought VIP tickets to see Crystal Gale. And she's going to be in a very tiny venue. And I'm guessing her hair is still really super long. If you don't know who she is, make sure you check her out. Because we were just talking about spray and conditioner and a detangler brush. I'm sure Crystal has a very interesting regimen of what she does for her hair. That's what she was famous for her very long hair that goes beyond her feet. And she is the sister of Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn was really famous back in the day as well. She's definitely more famous than Crystal Gale, but she had a great film, just speaking of women and what they do, and National Women's Month, called Coal Miner's Daughter that starred Sissy Spacek. So there you go. That's all I got about women today. Not very much. I gotta say, I gotta say this. Jam and Renee absolutely inspire me, and I hope they inspire you as well, to take something that you hear about all the time, like, oh, it's National Black History Month. Oh, it's National Women's Month. Today is National Walk in the Park Day, which I meant to say and tell Jam and Renee. My favorite park actually is in San Francisco, which I know Jam lives there. I love the Golden State Park. That's my favorite park. Favorite park in the United States, hands down, is that park. So I think what's cool, you guys, is like getting to see different hosts do different things, talk about different things, and taking their different take. They took National Black History Month and made it so beautiful and tangible, relatable, and same with National Women's Month. And I want to say thank you to them for that. So do not go anywhere. Next is Jam Renee with Get On Up from 10 to 12 on the East Coast. You've got 12 to 2 with the Anthony Davis Show. 2 to 4 is your pal Hal. And then bringing us home on the drive is Mario Smith from 4 to 6. I will be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time for 1 hour. That's it. That's all you get of me. You guys, do not forget to live every day. I'll see you in the morning. Bye, you guys.